All right, Aries, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 20th through the 26th of 2017. I am currently sick at the moment, so I do apologize for my voice and if I maybe cough or something like that. And I do apologize for getting these out late, but yeah, let's go ahead and look at this for the week so you have all the information here. We've got your ruler Mars this week, of course, still transiting your 6th house, which is the house of your health and also of your work and routine. So it's been great this past month or so for you to be putting energy into this sector, and I think this week is certainly no exception. This week really is still about these new beginnings you may have had regarding relationships. From last Saturday, you had a new moon in your 7th house. So still great to be especially moving some things forward if you've had some new relationship perspectives or new things in that area in general. Not to mention you can be enjoying this area actually with Venus here. Your mind is quite deep at the moment. A lot of you may be learning about healing or deeper things in life. Really good to allow that. Maybe vulnerability as well with how you think, how you communicate, that kind of stuff to really help you get in touch with, again, what truly matters most, which is that 8th house. So in terms of the aspects this week, it looks like a pretty nice week, generally speaking. Coming into it, we are easing up off any tension, if you felt any, on Sunday, and maybe a little bit on Monday in terms of your ruler squaring Pluto. So if you felt any tension there, anything that you're attached to, or there's some conflict or some power struggles or something like that, and I think a lot of it might just be with what you want in life, and it could have to do with that work or whatever. But yeah, practicing that non-attachment is great on Monday as well. But again, you're easing up off of it, and that really is lifting, especially once you get into Tuesday. Because on Tuesday, we do have Venus that's sextiling up to Pluto, which does emphasize a really good energy for, again, relationships. There's just an opening here to connect deeply with that area. And also possibly too with finances, actually. So there could be some positive changes with that. Sextiles are usually just openings, but I think the openings are certainly there for those relationships and values to enjoy and to connect to on Tuesday. So as we get into Wednesday, Neptune goes station direct after his roughly 6-month retrograde in your 11th house. I would suggest this week around Wednesday to notice, see if you notice anything that you now want to implement regarding friends, groups, or any future ideals you may have. And this is the reflection you've had with retrograde Neptune, particularly pertaining to these ideals with this area, and maybe some uncertainty and confusion as well. But now that Neptune's direct is about practicing this Neptune energy of acceptance, of being present with the group, with your future ideals, living in the present moment. And through that, it can be very, very liberating, very spiritually liberating. And that's what Neptune is essentially showing you or teaching you, so to speak, with that transit of the 11th. All right, and then once we get into about Friday, the sun starts to shift into Scorpio, which is your 8th house. I think for about the next month, you'll have this focus now on again, what truly matters, that 8th house energy. If there is relationship energy this week, which I think there is for you, this now focus on intimacy with it, or shared resources with it, or trust, whether it's trusting again with the emotions or trusting with the material realm, like resources. But whatever it is, great to start focusing on it. I think you naturally will. And I think for the next month, it's just illuminating all this stuff that is usually hidden in life that we can become aware of. And through gratitude, through acceptance, through a willingness to connect to the truth, can be very empowering, very energizing actually with the sun here. Also really good for research, uncovering hidden things in terms of occult, stuff like that if you're inclined towards those matters. And astrology and healing as well. But on that day on Friday, Mercury does square up to Chiron, so there could be a bit of healing needing with your mind, with communication, and with your routine. It's possible. So some things to consider. I don't think it's major, but as a backdrop, and I think that's already been the case, right, with Mercury in your 8th house. But anything you can do to challenge yourself with healing your mind, how you think about things, and your routine, could be great to work on. This is really the working time of the week with the square. It's the only challenging aspect we really have this week. Then over the weekend, we do have Mercury trining up to Uranus on Saturday. So while there is that healing, then on Saturday, it really liberates it. So Saturday, you could be feeling quite free with your ideas, free with your communication, just a bit progressive there. And it is, again, supporting the depth and openness and intimacy, which really is the theme by the week's end here. But it can be very liberating to do that. And you might be learning some new things. You might be communicating in new ways. And there might even be some positive changes with your routine as well, which is, again, great because your ruler's in that 6th house. So work and routine, some newness, some excitement. Could be really good to implement. And then the week does end with Venus trining up to Chiron. So those relationships, some positive feeling healed, feeling rejuvenated maybe with relationships, with finances, with the things you value in life going into next week. And I do want to mention that, this is generally a very good week for, again, slowly but surely developing those relationships anyways. That's what this whole lunar cycle is about. And maybe over the weekend, challenging yourself with anything that is relationship related that you want to integrate and bring into your life, as we will be in the first quarter phase, which is usually a great time to be taking action and initiating whatever those new beginnings were last Saturday. All right, Aries, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all for the next weekly forecast. Take care.